I'm David Bueller. As Tom pointed out, I'm the GIS coordinator. And geo-reporting, something we've been working on for about 18 months or so, and have rolled out version 1.0 last May. You may have remembered the presentation I gave about a year ago. We rolled that out internally to work out any bugs and kinks and things like that before we get here to today to announce the public-facing side going live. So, got a quick few little things to go over, and we'll move right along. So, what exactly is geo-reporting? Well, geo-reporting is short for Geographic Reporting System. So the key word is geographic. It's location-based. It's not something that, say, somebody calls and complains about me personally, saying we had a bad interaction. It's tied to a location. So shelter has an issue, there's a pothole, there's a street light out, something like that that has an actual location is what gets tied into this system. And it's just another way of tracking. So it's just another way for everybody to interact with each other. Citizens and staff alike can use this to connect and address non-emergency location-based concerns. So if it's life, limb, property, call 911. This is stuff that can sit for a while. It'll be addressed in due time and follow proper procedures, but it's not that emergency kind of response that we're aiming to capture. So it's a complete system, meaning it's just not a notification. There's actually a middle part where it's managing, and then there's analytics on the back end, so we can start making better decisions with real-life data in a different format. So it also brings in our investments into our GIS program over the past years. Familiar technology that we all have, pretty much, tablets, smartphones, computers, internet, and then it really makes that merriment between the citizens and the city. So kind of a reminder why we're doing this. We're just trying to open up different avenues of approach and approaches to collecting this information, reporting it, addressing it, and managing it. And it really kind of will enhance and supplement interactions between the citizens and us. Provides a level of transparency that because it's all out there, it's all seeable by everybody. And it complements interdepartmental cooperation, so everybody can kind of pool the same resources, look at the same information without having to bring binders and things like that together and see what's already been done. And we're just looking to get additional information to make decisions. So kind of an overview of what it actually is for the public-facing side that most everybody will see. It's a browser-based application, so there's no need to download an application to your phone or tablet. It's mobile-friendly, so it's web-based, and you just need an internet connection, so smartphone with a data plan, things like that, your home computer, and you can log something. So there's pretty much 4 things we require, and we tried to strip it down to be the bare minimum. We have 9 general categories, and so we're going to think location and action. So it's in the road, I keep running over the same pothole, I keep seeing debris in the same spot. That's in the road, so look at road right of way. If it's on the sidewalk, I keep hitting my branch on, stumbling over the block in the sidewalk. Think sidewalk. If it's beyond the sidewalk, it's probably private property in some way, shape, or form. So if I'm also dumping, it's a dumping concern, so that's an action. So that necessarily doesn't mean that you need to know which department it needs to go to. So we try to think of that way, come into that approach that I don't necessarily know where everything goes. So if somebody were to call me, I would have to figure out where it goes, and then I might get lost in translation as it tries to move through the food chain. So we try to think of it as getting you to there faster. So there's 50 different specific concerns within those 9 general categories, and each one that you choose will show a selection of that for those things. And we also need an email because it'll give you automated responses and show you, and it'll be how we interact with those type of complaints that are issued or concerns. And it'll keep you abreast of the progression of that concerns resolution. And then we obviously need a location. The would-be nice items to help us do our jobs better is a short description and a picture. It handles those too. So, and again, this is not for emergency use. So we have this in several places that are easily accessible, since it is a web-based thing. It's on our website and several places. So if we open it up, under the Residents tab, we have the Geo Reporting, and it'll turn you over to this description page, and then where you can click onto the form and to the instructions and help and kind of some reminders. It's also under Departments and Engineering, Geographic Systems and Geo Reporting. It's kind of the home of everything. It's also on the home page. There's a cool little icon that'll scroll over here eventually. It kind of looks like a little hand holding a mobile phone with a little flag on it. And there it is. So that'll also route you to there and give you to that. And if you can remember the URL, it's our city's website /GRES. And it'll route you right to the actual entry form. So it's kind of, so once we're actually in it, it'll reroute to our GIS software, and it'll ask for locations, and if that's all right, because you can use your devices, location services, if you have them turned on. And then it kind of brings up what's already been done. If it's over a week, it kind of just fades off, but it's still kept so that we can archive it. And so that if you're out walking around and you see something that you want to report, you can look at the map. Oh yeah, hey, it's already been reported. I don't necessarily need to do that. So we're trying not to get duplicate calls on things. And don't know if we can get down to the bottom. At the bottom would be where it would submit to, you would fill out the form. So that's kind of the entry system as it is. What do we get out of this is kind of another big thing. In short term, we get monthly little reports, kind of our activity throughout the city, what's going on, what's more prevalent. We also have a dashboard that more of the senior management will use to help address issues and bring it in. It's all secured. And this is kind of the grand overview of what's already been done to date. It gives you kind of general counts. We've already had 116 this year since we've switched over. It gives you little breakouts, like which department is getting the bulk of the calls. Right? What concern type is actually the most prevalent, which happens to be snow and ice covered sidewalks. Statuses of things, which aldermanic district, how it's reported, because that's one thing we also wanted to capture was how are we actually interacting with citizens? Is it via the system? Is it always still phone calls? Is it emails? Is it in persons? Things like that. And we also wanted to make sure that we can do some educational later. And so that's why we wanted to also track like who logged it. So the street division has taken the bulk of the calls at the moment. So that's kind of the high-level overview of what we kind of get out of it in the short term. In the midterm, we get some goal-oriented metrics, like how fast are we closing things and dealing with them, how many phone calls and emails and things like that, who's taking it, things like that. So then we can start doing some education and informational sessions to try to help redirect where things need to go, figure out some things. And in the long term, kind of like that multi-year collection, we should start asking and answering data-driven questions. So why does that intersection always have the right-hand lane screwed up? Or why is that sign always missing? Why is that light bulb always out? We can start supplementing our planning and deploying of resources. It's kind of crucial. And we also get to have some additional data to back up why we're doing a policy change or additions or staffing needs or buying that piece of equipment to help deal with that particular concern. And then we also get to continue our education so that we can start to refine and get maybe less and less over time of overall things. So that's kind of where we're at. Any questions?
Questions? It's a very cool product. And this is an example of something that historically we probably would have outsourced and had a contractor build for us, and we were able to build in-house. So nice work, David.